All right, you guys, let's get into it. Oh my gosh, poor Boots last night got into it with the neighbor cat. So Catzilla is the neighbor's cat confirmed. I messaged my neighbor last night on Messenger, and I said, there's a cat over here. I go, be careful with your cat, because he has cats too that are outdoor cats. I said, there's a cat in the neighborhood that's really large, and it comes to the deck at night and fights with Boots. And he said, is this the cat? And he sends me a picture, and it's literally his cat. Her name's Jazzy. She's a 15-year-old female, so she's an older girl, and she literally comes over and attacks Boots. But she didn't hurt him because he checked in this morning. He showed up. I did a damage assessment. We play this little game in the mornings, and we do a damage assessment, and then I rate it from 0 to 10, and he was like a 2. So no visible scratches. He was a little roughed up, a little skittish, more than usual, but he's fine. I was wondering, I was like, this is just weird. Like, cats, like, they fight, and I wonder if, like, they fight to the death. And so I got to look this up, because I want to keep him safe, but also he's got to be a big boy because he's outside, but he's still a kitten. Boots is only a year old. So, he's learning, but she completely dominated him. I shined the flashlight on him last night to break him up, and they still wouldn't break up. And literally Boots was laid out in the prone position, just completely helpless. And she was was right about to tear into him. What I don't want to have happen is for his eye to get scratched out or something weird like that. But for some reason, cats just do this, and they usually end up okay at the end of it. But anyway, I had to stomp on the deck to get her to leave. And then he jumps up on the deck and runs past and into his pet. I don't know why he doesn't just go through his cat door and hang out in there, because that's safe for him. And other cats and other animals don't know how to get in there. But anyway, he's okay. I just wanted to let you guys know he's okay. Oh my gosh. Now, today we're going to have a little bit of fun today, because we got to talk about the Austin Powers FEMBOTs, which is the first thing that popped in my head when I saw Melania Trump parading out this FEMBOT from Austin Powers into the White House to give this speech or whatever. So I had to dig deeper into this whole bizarre scene here. And I'm going to turn the sound off on this just because there's a song playing. They like to set these landmines of copyright. This is their new tactic. So they'll put these soundtracks and stuff in this stuff to hit you with the copyright. So I got the sound off, but as soon as this robot starts speaking, I will play this for you. But you guys, this goes much deeper than you think. We're going to get into the executive order that spawned all of this bizarre scene. You've got Bridget McCrone next to her. There's a clue there, but this goes even deeper. Okay, so let's talk about this and what all this means. Now, there was an executive order signed on A113. I'm going to type this out for you so you can see this. A113 is the Easter egg number that appeared in many of these, animated films. Now, why is it A113? Well, A113 is 1113. Alphanumerically, it matches. Now, why is this important? Well, this first came onto our radar because on 11/13/2013, they passed the Adrenochrome Act. And before this, on October 31st, 2013, Obama signed, it entered the House or the Senate on Halloween before November 13th, A113. What was the Adrenochrome Act? Well, what it did is it put EpiPens into schools all across the nation. EpiPens degrade into adrenochrome. You can go right into the product description for EpiPen, and it literally says that the pen, when it is exposed to sunlight, will turn pink and degrade into adrenochrome and melanin. So there you go. Now that, of course, is synthetic adrenochrome, but we get the point, right? The epinephrine is the release of the hormone based on acute fear. So they're trying to tell us something, aren't they? So I looked this up. The Fostering the Future of American Children and Families. And there it is right there. Trump signed this on A113, November 13, 2025. The Fostering the Future Act. And what this does is it essentially takes vulnerable foster children, and in my opinion, the federal government inserts themselves into these children's lives. They say they're doing a good thing, but we've all been there. We all know what these people are really doing. Heck, the whole Epstein files was about billionaires inserting themselves into young teens' lives through modeling, through charities, through giving, right? Through orphanages. Well, here we go again. They take these vulnerable foster children and essentially they are grooming them into some kind of freaky mind control AI experiment. Yes, AI is mentioned in here. They call it modernizing the child welfare system. But essentially what it really is they're using artificial intelligence. They're pairing parents, foster parents with children using AI. It's all right here in the executive order, you guys. A113, 1113, the adrenochrome number. Now, let's play this and listen to this weird robot. And then we're going to go to the website and see who this robot is. We're going to do a deep dive today on this. Here's from the website. The future of home help is here. This is the robot. We're going to show you that. Figure 3 is the name of the robot. But let's play this through a little bit so you can hear what this thing has to say. This is about as creepy as it gets.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House.
Now, here's something else I noticed. This is just so creepy. You've got Bridget Macron, which everyone is doubting. How do I say this? Exactly who this woman is. Then look at the camera angle. They've got the microphone pointing directly at the womb. It's like the serpent attacking the womb. This is the very first prophecy of the Bible. The enmity between the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman. And you actually literally see this playing out with the microphone pointed at the womb of Melania Trump. Let's listen to this thing.
It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful.
Figure 3 is the name of the robot, and we'll do a deep dive on this robot.
Grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. Shagatam. Lascavo próximo.
So basically, the robot gives greetings in all these different languages.
Dobrodošli. Thank you.
The thing then walks off, and then Melania Trump's going to give some words. Now we're going to listen to Melania Trump's speech because this is the dead giveaway. Now I want you to notice the time. Let's see. I wonder if this thing started at 11:13 a.m. Let's take a look. Let's back this up. This is unbelievable. Let's see when the thing actually came out. Wow, 11:15. So pretty much 11:13 is when the robot came out. Let's go back here. Now let's listen to Melania's speech. But before we do, the 11A113 is also an Easter egg in the Pixar films. Now, it's in a lot of Pixar films, but specifically it's in the Toy Story films. It's on the license plate here. Here it is. Again, there's Woody. and Buzz on these license plates. Here's another one. This is in Toy Story 3. Now, why are we bringing this up? Well, one of the most viral videos on this channel were our Toy Story videos, in which we exposed the innuendo behind Toy Story. In every single Toy Story film, now listen closely, it was about foster toys, essentially. It was about toys being stolen, lost, traded, and trafficked. Now, they know this. Here's a page that talks about this. It says that the Toy Story films, they say, are good because they have themes of foster care and adoption. Let me show you what site this is. This is called Adoption. It's a site all about adoption. And it says, how is this relevant to adopting and foster care? While this movie does not directly reference foster care or traditional adoptive family, this film does have several themes that do relate to the territory. The story revolves around toys coming to terms with feelings of abandonment, jealousy, comparison, separation, anxiety, abuse, and grief. Many of our children can relate to feeling all of the above and struggle to self-regulate appropriately while working through these difficult events and emotions. This movie can be used as a tool to help facilitate discussions about family movie nights, to help put big abstract feelings into words and pictures for children who may not be able to directly connect feelings of abandonment and jealousy to their behaviors. This can also be a beneficial tool in talking with children already in the home before, during, or after foster placements to check in and reaffirm that children already in the home are not going to be replaced by foster children. So they literally say that Toy Story is one such movie. So now that we've confirmed all that, let's hear what Melania has to say. And this is the dead giveaway. Let me check it with you guys. This is insane. Fostering the future. Now, if the robot wasn't a blatant clue that this is about mind control of a vulnerable group of children, I don't know what is. Because think about it. If there was any indication about how much they really care about abused children or children in delicate situations, then they would have went after the billionaires in the Epstein files and brought them to justice. But instead, they hid everything. There's the dead giveaway. Now let's listen to what she has to say here, because this is important.
Good morning. Welcome to the White House. Figure 3, thank you for joining me at day 2 of Fostering the Future Together. It's fair to state you're my first American-made humanoid guest in the White House. But moreover, it is my distinct honor to receive such an impressive group of leaders today. 45 of you have traveled from every corner of the planet to represent your nation.
45, that's of course Trump's first presidency. Now, before we continue on with what she has to say here, the program literally says that they're going to use AI to pair children together. Let's search this page. There's also a faith-based component to this as well. Expand the state's use of technological solutions, including predictive analytics and tools powered by artificial intelligence, to increase caregiver recruitment and retention rates, improve caregiver and child matching, and deploy federal child welfare funding to maximally effective purposes and recipients. There's also faith-based organizations. And I believe that what this is really about is creating the next evangelical Christian army. This will be the new pool through which they recruit, as they've already kicked off this holy war in Iran and made us believe that we are in a fight for our very existence of Christianity. This is where everything is headed with the war in Iran. They're going to say they want to turn us all into Muslims, and we're not going to let that happen. So they're going to need the Christian army to fight the Muslim threat. They've already begun to segue this into Armageddon, themes of Armageddon, and a fight for the very survival of our way of life. This is how they're going to frame all this as the Iran war continues on. And literally, Melania even mentions Turning Point. I believe that will be the vehicle. That's why they offed Charlie Kirk and brought his wife, Erica Kirk, to the forefront. She's going to be the recruitment tool, in my opinion. She will be the vehicle for recruiting mostly white nationalists, white Christian nationalists. Now let's keep listening to Melania, and here you'll hear these clues here.
As a part of this new coalition, also a first. I hope you found I'm
going to speed her up a little bit. Let's see here.
Yesterday, 4-part working session at Tech Expo at the State Department insightful. We are fostering the future together. Our mission to empower children through technology and education is achievable.
Empowering children through technology and education. Well, there's the mind control, artificial intelligence.
I encourage each of you to take a proactive step after this inaugural summit. Pledge to host a regional meeting. Collaborate with the private sector. Unlock access to tech for those who require assistance. Draft groundbreaking legislation to protect our children. Collaborate with another member nation, form a committee, and be a catalyst for discovery. Indeed, our world is transforming, and through the use of AI, we can now access centuries' worth of humanity's knowledge base. The future of AI is personified. It will be formed in the shape of humans. Very soon, artificial intelligence will move from our mobile phones to humanoids that deliver utility.
Whoa, humanoids. They're replacing the humans. Now you know what the attack on the womb is. It's replacing humans with robots. No flesh left. How are they doing it? Through the microphone. As we said earlier, the beast was given the ability to speak. Remember AI? The image of the beast and the ability to speak? That's what's happening right now. AI can speak and create an image that is almost imperceptible. We're here. Artificial intelligence.
Since our environment is designed for people, humanoid systems are uniquely suited to navigate and operate within our world. They fit well. Imagine a humanoid educator named Plato. Access to the classical studies is now instantaneous.
So did you catch that? Humanoid robots as ancient figures. They literally will resurrect these figures into humanoid robots to teach our children. You guys, this is right out of some kind of dystopian nightmare. It's right out of the movie I, Robot.
Literature, science, art, philosophy, mathematics, and history. Humanity's entire corpus of information is available in the comfort of your home. Plato will provide a personalized experience, adaptive to the needs of each student. Plato is always patient and always available. Predictably, our children will develop deep critical thinking and independent reasoning abilities.
So, did you catch that? Oh, Plato, he won't abuse you. He's always available. He'll listen to you. Now, I picked up on a little bit of this in the Terminator 2 movie, which I screened a few days ago. And remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger comes back as John Connor's protector. And he becomes the replacement of John Connor's father. And they depict him as being even better than the father because he'll just sit there and listen to John Connor's nonsense hour after hour after hour. He does exactly what John tells him to do. And John loves him as a father. This is unbelievable. We are here.
The AI-powered Play-Doh will boost analytics skills and problem solving and adapt in real time to a student's pace, prior knowledge, and even emotional state.
Connecting emotionally with a robot. You guys, this is a nightmare. Let me check in with you guys. Now, when you couple this message with the fact that Trump has passed laws that no controls can be put on AI, we are left with an AI takeover. Now, please thumbs up this video, you guys. I'm sure other people have decoded this, but the deep dive we're going to do today will be one for the history books. Let's keep listening.
The byproduct, a more well-rounded lifestyle for our children, freeing up time for being with friends, playing sports, and developing interest beyond school.
So, the robots are better than humans, is what she's saying.
A more complete person. But as discussed yesterday, we must balance our tech optimism with caution.
Balance our tech optimism with caution. Well, apparently that's not happening because Trump has put controls on anything that goes against AI.
The safety of our next generation is always paramount. Knowledge is the foundation of civilization. But although academia is interesting, business is compelling. For real growth in technology and education, I encourage you to bring the private and public sector worlds together. Yesterday's meeting at the State Department was an impressive showing of how tech innovation is modernizing our communities. It's powerful to be part of our future in the making, particularly with best-in-class companies like Meta, Microsoft, OpenAI, X, Palantir, Google, Zoom, and Adobe.
Of course, these are the very companies that Trump paraded out on day one after he won the presidency.
Each serves as a catalyst for discovery. We can accelerate civilization's march forward when enterprise delivers innovation, government creates scale, and our capital markets finance the distribution of these emerging technologies. Fostering the future together is built on the theory that efficiencies derived from artificial intelligence will improve various parts of society, such as commerce, healthcare, and food security, ultimately lifting all economies. We stand at the turning point because of artificial intelligence.
The turning point. So this is where she inserts the turning point, because this will be the catalyst. Make no mistake, the next generation of our young people, and they will always tap back to Charlie's sacrifice. Even though they've remade his image into something completely different, they will tap back to that. They will say how much he was loved by the youth, and they will use that to push through this artificial intelligence. The turning point.
The age of imagination. Humanity has witnessed historic times like this before. During the Industrial Revolution, the dawn of electricity, the race to the moon, and the birth of the internet. This technology may reset the modern world order and rebalance power. Your children must be prepared to ascend with fire this framework.
Wow, ascend with fire. That sounds like a phoenix rising up out of the ashes. What is wrong with these people?
Children must be prepared to ascend with fire this framework. Of electricity, the race to the moon.
Notice how she threw in the dawn. She got to put Dawn's name in there.
And the birth of the internet. This technology may reset the modern world order and rebalance power.
Of course, the world order, right?
Your children must be prepared to ascend with fire this framework. Our coalition can make this vision real by supporting concrete initiatives that equip young people with the skills they need. Invest, expand access, and foster new opportunity. America, we are obligated to ensure that our children become the most technologically fluent and highly educated generation in the world. In doing so, the United States will secure long-term and economic superiority. This will drive GDP expansion, attract global investment, and put our nation in control of arguably the most important asset in the future, intellectual property.
Intellectual property?
Inspire our children to build new platforms, create new industries, and optimize production across all sectors, from media and fashion to health and defense. Let's foster the future together.
So, AI education will drive productivity, as if people weren't already expected to be highly productive and unsustainably productive. Now, it's obvious Melania did not write the speech. She was given the speech to read.
The nations represented in this room reflect great human potential. We are here today to advance ideas and solutions. So let us proceed in the spirit of collaborative dialogue. It is now my pleasure to give a floor to Mrs. Brigitte Macron, the distinguished representative.
So, Brigitte Macron, the very first person mentioned that she introduces, obviously, the goal is Brigitte Macron. And I don't need to really say anything else about that for those of you that are in the know. Now, who is this robot? Well, here is the website Figure AI. The robot introduced itself as Figure 3. We're going to do a deep dive into this website, which is literally something out of a bad movie. It says the future of home help is here. So they want to insert one of these robots in everyone's home, or everyone who can afford it. They'll probably give them away for free or with some kind of subscription. But there are movies based off of this. Rogue robots who are basically, created and inserted into families as the help, a glorified automatic vacuum cleaner. The future of home help is here. Figure 3 is a general purpose humanoid robot for every day. The intelligence behind Figure 3. Figure is using Helix. That's the coil. That's the portal. That's the spiral. Helix AI that enables it to navigate unpredictable, ever-changing home environments. Understands your home like you do. Human-shaped and AI-powered. Figure handles household tasks the way you would. So this thing is self-learning. It also has washable material on it, so you can give this thing a wash if you need to. Figure has attracted the world's leading robotics team with over 100 years of combined AI and humanoid experience. Unbelievable. What is this master plan? Let's read this. Roadmap to a positive future powered by AI. Background. I'm 20 years into building technology companies. Previously the founder of Archer. Oh, Archer. There we go. The Archer. The serpent in the chest. The consciousness. The twin spirit. And Vettery. My sole focus is Figure, which is the robot. My ambition is to build this company with a 30-year view, spending my time and resources on maximizing my utility impact to humanity. The mission, expand human capabilities through advanced AI. Wow. Here we go. Today, we are seeing unprecedented labor shortages. That's because everything's being replaced with AI. They're literally wagging the dog here, aren't they? There are over 10 million unsafe or undesirable jobs in the US alone, and an aging population will only make it increasingly difficult for companies to scale their workforces. As a result, the labor supply growth is set to flatline this century. If we want continued growth, we need more productivity, and that means more automation. So they're replacing us with robots. If you had any doubts, the possibility. Thankfully, we are in the early stages of an AI and robotics revolution. This presents a unique opportunity to substantially increase our production and standard of living. Well, it's actually the opposite. Our standard of living is going to go down because we will be under complete and total control. And we will have no value to the people, the wealthy people who control the society. We will be seen as liabilities. We won't have any value. The only value we have now is that people can work and contribute. Once that's gone, they don't need us anymore. As automation continues to integrate with human life at scale, we can predict that the labor-based economy as we know it will transform. Robots that can think, learn, reason, and interact with their environments will eventually be capable of performing tasks better than humans. Today, manual labor compensation is the primary driver of goods and services prices, accounting for 50% of global GDP. But as these robots join the workforce, everywhere from factories to farmland, the cost of labor will decrease until it becomes equivalent to the price of renting a robot, facilitating a long-term holistic reduction in costs. So really what this is about is greed. They'd rather make a robot instead of paying a fair wage to humans. If they've got all this money for research and development to make robots, why can't they pay a fair wage? So this just goes on, more nonsense. Let's go back here. We'll see this video. Oh, 6 minutes and 19 seconds long. That's a yin and a yang. That's transformation. I'm going to turn the sound off. Look at this thing. This is iRobot. Wait, let's look up iRobot. This is crazy. Now we decoded this movie iRobot, but we might need to look at it again. This thing looks just like iRobot. There's a reason why the face is black in the actual robot, probably because they don't want to cause any alarm yet, so they're going to make it faceless. Let's see what okay, let's turn this in. Look at this. It literally looks like iRobot as it's walking out of whatever that was. The fuzz. Figure 3. See if they're saying anything. No, just more music. This is the helix. So you understand the symbolism here, the spiritual symbolism of the logo? I hope you do. They're taking the analog, which is the DNA strand, and they've transformed it into the cube. So now it becomes digital. Analog to digital. The yin and the yang. These spaces in between are white, and then you have the black blocks. That's your yin and yang, your 69. On and off. They're replacing us. Wow. Not to mention, let's go back here. Ready for this? The spiritual eyes, we understand that F3, F is the 6th letter of the alphabet, so 666. There's 3 Fs. F3, 666. This is the mark. And it's in the chest. Serpent, the archer in the chest. See if they're saying anything here. Nope. There's the mark on the forehead. Let's see if there's one on the right hand. There's the mark on the forehead. That's 2 blocks or cubes. 66. Wow. This thing is a monstrosity. And look, it's got a zipper in the back where you could unzip this material and like wash the thing. This fabric. It's got these shoes. Just shocking. See if they're saying anything here. They've got it as an assistant. Pretty much a robot slave army. It won't be long before they allow these people to, or these, see, I just did it. It won't be long before they give these robots rights. Just like in the movie I, Robot. And then it won't be long after that one of these robots kills somebody, just like in the movie, and rebel against their masters. Or they'll say they're rebelling against their masters, but really what will happen is these will be infiltration units. So they'll say, oh, the robot went rogue, but really they'll program the robot to do assassinations and control the public. And they'll say, oh, we lost control of the AI. There's nothing we could do. Right? This is how they would do it. Let's see if there's any. It's just a soundtrack playing. Look at this. Oh, you don't want to play with your dog? Just program the robot to do it. Does laundry. This is a dystopian nightmare. Wow. Helix Home Testing, Northern California. Okay, still just soundtrack. It's on its charging station. You guys, the irony of all this is they've created separation between our reality and the dystopian reality. What I mean by that is, why would we want somebody or something to do all these things for us? But then people just, instead of getting their work out by doing all these things and getting their, spiritual and physical connection to God through the normal things that we're pretty much been tasked to do as humans, that's been interrupted with this robot. And then these very people who hire these robots, instead of doing all these menial tasks, they just go to the gym. It's so unnatural. It's troubling. Let's keep watching here. Whoa, did you see that? See, there's always little clues in this stuff. There's the skin of the beast. Whoa. And it's on like the crossbeam of the crucifixion. So the beast has been put away. They're basically shedding the skin that God gave Adam and Eve. And then remember, they had to toil in the dirt. There was sweat on the brow of Adam, and Eve had birth pangs. Well, all that's going to be over now because they've replaced it with another beast, the artificial beast. And this would be the garden. They're in the garden. See, it's all spiritual. Let's keep watching here. Things on the charging station. So the charging station is the tree, right? So they've got a new tree of life. It's the charging station. So it comes off of the charging station. The tree that gives life. It's the new tree. Here's another clue. There's the tree stump. Wow. Full of spiritual symbolism. Walks out of the garden. See if there's any sound here. Long horizon pixels to action. I don't know what that. Oh, cleanup. So it's the technique. Or not the technique, the programming. Pixels to action, I guess, is how this thing is so accurate with how it can actually carry out these tasks. something in the programming. So it can pick up some hard object like a laptop, but also be delicate with something like a pillow. This is frightening. Let's see what this book says. The Devil's in the Details. Francois Hallard. Let's look that up. Francois Hallard. Here he is. French photographer. Francois Hallard. He was born in 1961, so that was the book on the what do you call it? Coffee table. Okay, let's see here. I'll make sure we don't miss anything. I wanted to do an accurate deep dive of this. Okay. All right. Here are the books. Okay, let me check in with you guys and we're going to keep going here. So what are you guys' thoughts on all this? Please thumbs up the video if you're just tuning in. Let's keep looking. So this thing can clean up anything. Wow. See if there's anything, if it's saying anything. More soundtrack. Looks like the whole thing's going to be soundtrack. All right, so it's bringing plates into the sink. It can wash dishes. Precise, dexterous manipulation. Can load dishwashers without breaking plates. So what do they need humans for? Can do laundry. Flip through this, wait. 48 is on the, let's see, this could mean something. Just says 48 on the dial there. Wow. This has to be the end of all time, you guys. Jesus has to be coming soon. With this kind of technology, the good news is we are at the end. That's the good news. It can even fold clothes. And check you into a hotel. Wow. Deliver packages. Here goes all the Amazon jobs. Don't need those anymore. You got a robot army. Wow, even work in a lab. Now, the Terminator scenario, these robots and the artificial intelligence is so advanced that it can literally create its own machines on top of it all, which would mean that this would be the beginning of the machine becoming self-aware and literally destroying humanity. That's what I believe the end goal is of all this. Wow, what a trip, you guys. What a trip. So that's the site. That's the video. Let me go back into the chat. See if you guys have any questions or other further points of discussion. This is very troubling. Yeah, I'm pretty appalled too, Marcy. Essentially, it's an infiltration unit. Think of it that way. There's no way that they want to make humanity's life so much easier. Has nothing to do with that. It's all about infiltration, mind control, programming. Remember, these things are going to be talking to your children. They can say whatever they want. Subtle programming to mind control your children if you had one of these things in your house. Now, I'm not hyperbolizing here. We already know what the Bible says. This is the truth. Now, most people will not believe this. They'll think this is all good and it's progress and all these things. But really, it's not. The future of obesity. Well, now they've got a pill and a shot for that. You see how they've got all the different avenues covered? It's exactly like the TV series Human. Yes, I think I decoded that, Leilani. I'll have to go back and look, but I decoded several episodes of that TV series Human. Spy technology. Yes, the thing will spy on you. It's recording and seeing everything. They can hack these things to spy on people if they wanted. The T-1000's coming next. Yep. They'll start with these innocent robots that they'll say, oh, we've put governors on the robots so that they can't, use excessive force. And we've programmed them, just like in iRobot, to where they cannot break the rule, the cardinal rule of we cannot kill a human, right? But then what they'll do is, as these things get more and more advanced, they'll create like a mercenary army, and they'll literally look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. There'll be these huge yoked out robots that you cannot defeat. They'll be indestructible. They'll have body armor, just like the Terminator robots and everything. So, okay. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to pop off of here. I just wanted to present that to you and have a little bit of a discussion about it. I see the jokes, and yeah, it's kind of funny in certain ways, but it's really not in others. We literally have to speak out against this. If we don't, we're literally building our own future prison. And think about your children and what world they're gonna have to live in. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they will all be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. That pretty much sums it up. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Much love.